Hi everyone, today is December 31st, so this is New Year's Eve, and instead of going to a party and then possibly getting hit by a drunk driver and other unpleasant things like this, I decided to come up and camp in the snow. I am so excited. I've been wanting to do this for a long time and I'm finally here. This is actually my second time doing it. I did a sort of a trial run a couple of days ago and it went really well. I learned just a couple of things so that I could fine-tune my trip for tonight even better. But right now the sun is going to go down pretty soon in about an hour, so I'm going to set up camp and then I'm going to make fire and make dinner and then just enjoy New Year's Eve. I will probably be out by 10 o'clock. I don't think I can stay up until midnight, but that's fine. I'm here with my two German Shepherds. One of them I left home to sort of guard the house. I have my campsite set up and I love how easy it was. I usually take a lot of things with me because I want to be comfortable and definitely have a tent, and this time I don't. So basically, as you could see, my dogs have a tarp and even a blanket on the snow in front of my cot next to the fire, and I showed them to get on it and they've been laying on it ever since. So that is really cool. I am going to make my dinner, which is super simple. I did it like this last time. It's basically bread that I will toast on the fire, bacon that I will cook over the fire, and then at home I prepared some onions and tomatoes and cucumbers. I just sliced them up really thin. I just kind of wanted to prep it so I don't have to deal with that here. So I will just put that on the bread and brought some salt and pepper, and that's it. That's my big New Year's Eve dinner, but I love the way it tastes. I brought a lot just in case I get hungry later, and it's super simple to make. I brought some eggs and a cast iron frying pan for the morning to make some eggs, but tonight I will have some tea with rum to keep warm. I know it's New Year's Eve, it's supposed to have champagne, but whatever, I'm camping. And then in the morning I'm going to have coffee. So I love the way I have this set up, and as you could see, I have my cot and I have a level that I brought. So right now let's make some dinner and then make some tea. I already fed the doggies, and then I'm just gonna sit around, I guess, and have my little silent party with these dogs. I'm just enjoying the quiet and the snow. I love the way it looks. It's really not cold. If you're sitting in one spot, then you feel cold. I had to put on my jacket. It's probably about 30 degrees. I don't think it's gonna get much colder than that, but if you move around, it is super, super comfortable. It is 8:30 right now, and there is no way I can stay up until midnight. I had dinner, I had a cup of tea with some rum, and I am exhausted. So I'm going to go to sleep. Good morning. It is now year 2020, so Happy New Year, everyone. I slept really well. It was about 9 o'clock, 8:30 that I went to sleep. I couldn't stay up, like I said last night, and I slept so comfortable. I actually was more comfortable than last time. I was warm. I think this tarp might have helped. I mean, I don't know what kind of a wind or breeze was going on. Usually it felt like it was coming at me because all the smoke was always in my face, but I think it actually helps in some way, so I will always do this from now on. Everything was great. There were a couple of gunshots. I assume it was right at midnight. It wasn't a lot. That was one thing I wanted to do, was to avoid having all these fireworks and gunshots. Where I live, people just shoot guns up in the air. It's so crazy and it's so dangerous. And my older dog also, he is deathly afraid. But that was one big gunshot and maybe a couple or more in the far distance, but that wasn't bad. So right now I have a fire going. I am using up all my firewood, so I'm glad I brought all of this. And I'm just waiting for it to go down so I can cook my eggs on it. That will be my breakfast, and I'm going to feed the doggies right now, and then I'm going to make some coffee and we'll kind of explore this area. What I want to do is come back with my canvas tent. I got this really cool wood burning stove, and that will work no matter what condition. It's cold, you're up high, it doesn't matter. So I need to find a place. Right here would actually be nice. I need to find an area that's completely flat and even, because it's a 10 by 14 feet tent, and you don't want it to be like, you know, this. Everything will be sliding around, especially with that stove inside. So I'm just gonna look around and find an area and mark it on my phone that's completely flat and completely good for a tent, and then I think I'll come back here in about 2 weeks, and that way it's not that far from the car. The tent is super heavy, that's the only downside, and the stove is even heavier, it's crazy heavy, but it's okay. It's cast iron, I think, and it will do its job. So we'll make a few trips and it will be great, and then I will stay a couple of nights, because it's different when you're out in the open. You're changing your clothes out in the open, hoping nobody sees you. I mean, in the dark it's one thing, but there's nobody around here. But still, I wouldn't want to do that, you know, for like 2 nights. So these are the plans. So right now, let's make some coffee, feed the doggies, and then just go look around. I love coffee, and especially espresso. That's all I drink, and this coffee maker actually makes very, very strong espresso. As you've seen it, it's completely black. It's very dark. That's how strong it is. I could have put it on the campfire, but it's really uneven, that flame, and I think it would take forever for this to be made, because this coffee pot is really only this big, like in diameter. So I don't know, it would take forever. And with this little gadget, this is so much easier. It took me less than 5 minutes to make it, and it packs up so nicely, so totally worth it. So I had breakfast and lunch. That was at the same time. I had my coffee. The doggies ate. They had their water. I boiled some water on the fire, so they had their water. Everybody's bellies are full. All we have to do now is just kind of take a little hike, explore this area. Like I said earlier, I want to find an even spot. I think this one over here is actually pretty good, but I just want to see what else is out there. So when I come back in about 10 days with my tent and my stove, I'm not gonna have any problems. So we're gonna do that, and it's already, I don't know, 1 o'clock, maybe even 2. Time goes by really fast. And after that, so when we come back, we're just going to pack up and go home. This camping trip has come to an end. It was short, but it was awesome. Nothing has gone wrong at all. It was amazing. I had an amazing time. I now can camp really anywhere, pretty much in any condition. I feel like I have the whole setup. I have a basic setup. This is really, really cool. So I'm really excited that I came to do this. The weather is just absolutely gorgeous. It's probably in the 40s during the day. This is a New Year's Eve of its own kind for me, and I'm glad I did it. I know I keep saying it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you have any tips or advice or anything that you could give me, some of you guys have been doing this for a long time. I'm very new at this. I will take any advice and I will listen. My doggies, I'm really happy with them. They actually stayed with me the whole time. They did not run off at all. So they did well, and pulling that sled, they're getting better. They basically do what I need them to do, so I'm happy with that. So this year is off to a great start. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.